Welcome to Defeat Your Cravings, hosted by Dr. Glenn Livingston, PhD. Glenn has held his doctorate in psychology for more than 30 years and is also a former multi-million-dollar consultant to the big food industry and uses his experience to help you defeat your cravings. This show will help you to focus on dramatically reducing cravings and leave the diet mentality behind, so you can more easily and effortlessly achieve your health, fitness, and body composition goals. Please remember, no doctor-patient relationship is created via this show, and you are responsible for confirming any changes to your diet, health, or psychological routines with an appropriately licensed professional before implementing them. Now, before we get started, if you haven't yet downloaded the free smartphone app to access dozens of these recordings all in one place, as well as to avail yourself of a confidential community for support, motivation, and assistance, please visit the podcast link on defeatyourcravings.com as soon as possible. And now, here's your host, Dr. Glenn Livingston.
This is the very good Dr. Glenn Livingston here with a kind-hearted woman named Lola, who is very appreciative for changing her life in many ways. And she'd like to share her story and her trials and tribulations and successes and observations with you, maybe get a little coaching along the journey. Lola, how are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Just tell me a little bit about your story. Let me know what happened since you found it, and then tell me how I can help.
I, like so many of the members of the group, I have struggled with obesity and overeating for my entire adult life. I was a very, very active child when I was growing up. I actually was a collegiate level swimmer. And so I was very fit. I don't think I ever really understood my relationship with food. I enjoyed it. It was love. It made me happy. It comforted me when I was sad, but I never really saw the results of it because I was in the water 3 to 4 hours a day. And then I stopped sophomore year in college. Anxiety, depression, self-identity kind of hit hard, and I stopped swimming and food became that void. So not only was I a huge fan of all things delicious before, it just became my comfort and that void to fill when I was identified as this athlete and active person. Food replaced that. I left college 100 pounds heavier, and I am now 37 years old. And at my heaviest, I've been over 300 pounds at 320.
What do you weigh now?
I am currently at 257.
Okay, so you're down. You're down a bunch.
Yes. And so I am the classic, tried everything, all the programs that are out there, paid for memberships, tried different eating plans. I would have success and then I would immediately put it back on. Just prior to the pandemic, I had successfully lost 60 pounds after being officially diagnosed with diabetes. And it was the best I'd felt in my life, probably.
The diabetes scared you straight. Got it.
I've had just a very challenging medical history. Once I hit my 30s, everything started going downhill, and I've had to have several surgeries. I have conditions that I'm desperately trying to reverse and manage. And that's the most success I had seen. Then the pandemic hit, and like everybody else, life got really stressful and really hard, and I wasn't able to get out and be as active. I didn't get to go to my dance fitness classes that were amazing, and I gained all 60 back by December.
Okay. Then you were back up around 320?
I was at 310
to
end the year.
And that was December 2020?
Yes.
Okay.
And then how I describe it is I came undone. I said, how in the world after this time did I allow myself to get back here? I had totally given up hope. I was like, this is just the cards I've been dealt, and this is where I'll be. And I remember crying to my husband and saying, I don't want to be me anymore. It's too hard. And Christmas came and I got your book, and it's changed my life. I read it in January and have not binged since. I am 53 pounds down again, and I have never had a healthier or more confident relationship with food in my entire life.
That's wonderful. That makes me really happy. What were the food rules that you adopted, and how did they make you more confident?
My son is about to turn 9, and he came into my life in 2012, and I became a sneaky eater. So it was a lot of when he'd go to bed, I'm totally a pigula, but he would go to bed and it would just be a green light to go for it. So my first food rule was not eating past 8 p.m. If I was to guess, I think I probably consumed an entire day's worth of calories just after 8 p.m. till I went to bed on a regular basis. So that was my first one. It's freedom. I feel like you've given such a gift to like think of this and think of this self-sabotaging mindset or insecurities that we all struggle with, to be able to say, I don't have to accept this as who I am. This is not who I am to my core, and I deserve better. And so setting that first rule was really liberating. I also have stopped drinking alcohol. That would really just escalate my poor choices with food. So that has felt really cleansing and freeing as well.
Nothing after 8 o'clock, no alcohol?
Yes. And then I only have 2 more as of right now, but I always start the day with 40 ounces of water. I treated myself to a brand new fancy water bottle, and I drink one of those before I start my day. And then I'm not allowed to eat in my car by myself.
So no car eating alone. Okay. So you begin and end the day well. You have 40 ounces of water to start. Don't eat after 8 o'clock. You give up alcohol so that you're not impairing your judgment with food. Mm-hmm. And then you don't eat in the car alone. That's all that you really needed, and the weight's been coming off.
Yes.
Have you encountered any difficult pig squeals that you had to refute? Was it smooth sailing from the time you started? What's it been like?
I'm still so new. So it was like a switch for me. It was my aha moment. It was very emotional. And so since starting this, I have not had pig squeals that can't just be dismissed for what they are. I feel really confident in my ability to hear my squeals.
You have an exceptionally clear food plan. You've got exceptionally clear rules. And so any thought that suggests you should break them is obviously a squeal. So yes. You've got a very confident ability to hear them. That's the point of having zero ambiguity in your rules. That's terrific.
Dr. Livingston, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. Just being honest. You're welcome.
The loudest pig squeal that still is in the back of my mind from time to time, that is reoccurring and that I know is just, when will the other shoe drop? I think that that's just trauma from making effort and then sliding back so many times. But I fight back.
Your pig says the other shoe is eventually going to drop like it always has before.
Yes.
And the rest of that is, therefore, you should just give up and binge now. That's what the pig is really trying to do.
Yes.
So how do you refute that?
I always tell myself that the only power that those squeals and self-sabotaging distortions have is the noise that they make. My power to control and to take action is all in my control. Mm-hmm. I am empowered and capable to say no, because the alternative is going to be more beneficial to me in the long run to getting to the goals I so desperately want to reach.
Your pig can't take control of your hands and your arms and your legs and your mouth and your tongue. Your pig can't drive, so it can't get in the car and go drive to get something.
Right.
Yeah. You would have to do that for the pig. Not like a shoe is going to drop out of the sky. The pig would have to convince you to go get that shoe and take it to the supermarket.
Yes. Or the drive-through.
Or the drive-through, or the liquor store, or the bakery,
right.
or the pizza parlor. Yeah. The pig would have to convince you to go do that.
Right. The other quote along the same lines that stays with me along those lines is that the only time you have to not binge is right now. It's not thinking of the daunting journey that is the end game, the finish line. You know, coming from a competitive upbringing, it's like, I want to get to the end zone. How many yards do I have? It's just like, all I need to do is trust and believe in myself enough right now.
There you go. The only time you can eat is now. So if you always use the present moment to be healthy, then you'll never binge again. You don't have to worry about it.
Yes.
Are there any other squeals that bother you?
They all bother me. I don't play nice with my squeals. I throw it back into the cage. This whole way of thinking and the psychological piece of understanding what drives it has helped me to acknowledge just how powerless it truly is when you peel the layers.
Can you give me another example of something that your pig has said where you've been able to throw it back in the cage?
Oh, yes. Okay. With my 8 o'clock cut off. So I'm also trying to make big weight loss. So I've been sticking to kind of watching my calorie intake. And I had allowed myself to have something that was a little bit higher in calories. And it's like, okay, well, you have this amount of time until 8 o'clock, game on. You had that burger bun with your burger patty. So you might as well have the ice cream and the fries and the milkshake and then maybe a pizza after. I mean, it went so fast. And I just felt so mad. I'm just like, you're not allowed to do that anymore. I'm like to myself, like we've talked about this.
And did that work?
Yes. I have never believed in myself as much as I do right now.
That's fantastic, Lola. That's fantastic. Technically, you don't have a rule that prevents you from eating as much as you want to before 8 o'clock, right?
Right.
And so you're really talking about trying to eat intuitively during that time and getting angry that your pig wants you not to do that. And it sounds like you're able to manage it by just getting angry that one time, and now you don't have to worry about that. Some people, if they find that they have rules that they can follow, but still they're not eating as healthy as they would like to eat, sometimes it means you need another rule for volume or calorie control or something like that.
Yes.
But it sounds like you figured out you don't really need that, or not at this time.
Well, right. I think that's the big difference for me at this moment. I'm trying to allow myself to just explore and just do this whole process. I'm also just working on the workbook to kind of just really dig into my plan. I think that eventually I will need that. I just think I've been given so much confidence and power back that it hasn't shown up in that form yet.
You're losing weight at a decent clip. You are feeling really confident. You feel like you're the master of your own fate. You're not your pig's, bitch. And, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If every now and then you eat a little too much, okay. If you're eating so much that you're stopping the weight loss, or you're really having a health problem, or you're just feeling so uncomfortable so much of the time, then add another rule. The idea is to maximize your freedom while also maximizing your safety from the binges.
Yes.
You're doing terrific.
Thank you.
Is there any way I can help you? We have a few more minutes.
I don't know. I could just talk about your book and just ask you a million questions about your journey, but
ask me whatever you like.
I know you must know, because I truly believe that this is a very lonely and isolating struggle to have. And hearing your story and you being so transparent, I can only imagine the amazing amount of people that it's helped. How did you do this for yourself when you were just figuring it out yourself to begin with?
Painfully.
Yeah.
Painfully and slowly. I wish I had it all laid out. Jack Trimpey really organized a lot of the basics of this philosophy in a program called Rational Recovery for Alcoholics. I don't even think he knows me, but I owe him a big debt of thanks, and I thank him in the book. And I always tell people, if you're struggling with alcohol, don't use Never Binge Again. Just go to his website and work on that. So he worked out a lot of it, and he has a lot of recordings, and he's got one main book, 2 now. And those are really helpful to me in helping me make the leap. There were a lot of things that didn't work in his philosophy that I had to change. It took me about 8 years to really recover. I kind of worked out in a journal over time. When I was getting divorced, I wanted to do something really meaningful. And I remembered, I heard a lecture from a professor once about a book called The Sufferings of a Young Goethe. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is about the famous writer Goethe. And apparently he was lovesick. He was rejected by the woman who he thought was the love of his life, and he was suicidal. He wanted to kill himself. Just before he was going to do that, he decided he would write a book about it and publish it instead. This guy just opened up his soul on paper, and it got a lot of attention and acclaim. And we didn't have an internet back then, but it spread around Eastern Europe and got the attention of the emperor. And then he became this famous guy that was helping all these people because he was suffering enough to write it down. He chose to write it down and share it. And so that's what I did. I said, this has got to be the most painful time in my life. And I'm sick of chasing money, and I'm sick of trying to run this big coach training organization. And my ex-wife and I didn't agree about how to run it. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to do something that's totally for me. Whether it works or I don't, if I go broke, I don't care. And I would do this if I didn't make money for it. I have to pay the bills, and the banker doesn't say, just be nice and help a lot of binge eaters and you don't have to pay the mortgage. I got to charge for it. But this is something I would do without getting paid for it. So I just poured my heart and soul into it, and I guess everybody resonated with it. it was the right path.
I just have to say that I truly believe it. Genuinely, I felt that through all of your writings. The resources that you provide to the people who follow the method are just abundant and they're so wonderful. And you can just tell, I think a lot of people who struggle with obesity or just this type of thing can sometimes feel unheard or just cast off. And you really shine that through your pages and your writings.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I've been trying to bleed on paper. So
yes,
that's been my whole secret, just bleed on paper.
I love it.
Plus, I'm kind of smart and have a lot of experience. And, I've been thinking about this one topic for 30 years. So I think I might be the person who's thought longest and hardest about it for their lifetime. I felt kind of an obligation to share it. Thank you for all your kind words. That's really sweet. Is there anything else you want to ask or tell me? Or
I think that's it for me. I'm just so grateful. And I just am excited to be part of the community and keep cheering everyone on.
Definitely helping people by sharing your story. People really like when there's a very specific squeal and a very specific refutation. Is there anything else you'd like to share in those regards, or did I tap you out by putting you on the spot?
Oh, worst squeal ever is just that I don't deserve to be happy. I've too far gone. And that has been on repeat in my head for the last 20 years. And it is quiet and calm there right now.
How do you refute that?
I say, I am awesome. I deserve to live a long, happy, healthy life. Don't count me out yet. And let's do this.
I love it. There are a couple of other things that I use to refute that. First of all, not binging is not going to guarantee happiness. I'm guaranteed to be present. If I'm not binging, then I'm present and I can accept life on life's terms. That's the best I think anybody can do. That's your best shot at happiness, because then you can use your faculties to solve problems and pursue goals and accomplish your dreams and things like that. But sometimes life is miserable no matter what you do. I'd rather be present for that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
That's the only other way that I refute it, actually. So, is there anything else that I forgot to ask you, or something you want to tell people who are hesitant to get involved or anything like that?
Quickly, high blood pressure, diabetes, gallbladder removal. I've had many of the really awful health challenges that can arise from not taking care of myself, mind, body, and soul. And I'm happy to say I'm off medication as of right now.
Fantastic. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm definitely in your corner. So let me know what happens in the forum, okay?
You got it. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Lola.
Bye.
And that brings us to the end of today's broadcast of Defeat Your Cravings, hosted by Dr. Glenn Livingston. Now, if you'd like to find out more about the products and services Dr. Glenn offers to help you dramatically reduce your cravings and stop overeating in 90 days or less, please visit defeatyourcravingscoaching.com. That's defeatyourcravingscoaching.com. Thanks.